Morning, pal.
Hey, buddy. How you doing, man?
Good, good. What's going on?
Not much, not much. You recovered?
Yeah, yeah, just about, just about. It was a good little week. It wasn't as taxing as some kind of PJ shows have been for us. So we never kind of crammed the schedule too tight.
You've learned your lessons.
Exactly, exactly. We know exactly what is a lot of work for very little return.
Yeah.
That's what the show kind of like. Yeah, the content side of that's what it become like. Very few people actually want us to go and interview the R&D people and stuff like that. It was very very low return in the past.
That makes sense.
What did you get? Did you get a chance to? Did you
You
get
know,
to the
it was,
convention center or?
oh man, it was like, because so I did the camp with Foley. So I was like, I don't know, I had worked, I think like 13 days in a row. Then I did the camp with Foley, which was all day
Yeah,
Saturday, all day Sunday. And then Monday I ended up I think working online. And then Tuesday I came over and then B and Mark Bull were doing their talk. So I poked my head in there for a minute. And then I had to come back because I was teaching a couple of guys in the garage here. It was like
yeah,
I overbooked my week.
yeah,
Just teaching wise. In hindsight, I wish I would have just hung out a bit more. And then
yeah,
Friday I ran a camp here, so I had four people the whole day Friday. So it was just like
yeah. You were slammed.
it was just, it was like, honestly, Mark Bull was here. I said hi to him, and I was like, that was it. Like, I didn't even get to like
Really?
talk to him, nothing. Yeah,
Oh, it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
there's not. I mean, I guess there's not that much to. There's not that much that you can have, are kind of looking to see in terms of tech or probably like as you say, a couple of people you maybe want to spend some time with, but in terms of products or anything like that, this is the show you've
No,
probably not got too much.
yeah, that's what, like, people are like, because I've done it. I've been there. I walk around, and I come home. I'm like, dude, is that really what? Like, if I'm there, it'd be for a reason, like to promote
Yeah,
something or meet with someone. Like that's. But just to walk around, I'm like, for me, it's not really like my deal.
totally, totally, totally.
Give me the round summaries here.
So I think it was so stream songs. We on Black, Black, and you played all the stream songs. You
I
played them
haven't
all.
played Black. I know Red really well. I know Blue pretty
Okay.
well.
So Black, I shot one under. Just I just a kind of like a I don't know. I like it's kind of hard for me to externally analyze it, if I'm being honest, Ty, because the three rounds I scored, which was black, red, and at the Four Seasons, and kind of like I was keeping score at blue, but we were playing a match and our match was done after 15 and we were so freaking tired that
Yeah.
I mean the last four holes we kind of just mailed it in. We were just done. But I think I was 72, then round red, I think I was 73, and then Four Seasons I was 73. So like for not playing any golf.
But that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's sort of like it's hard to really judge when it's going from indoor and then it's like then you're right into the elements without, there's no, it's
Yeah.
all like figuring it out, right?
There's no transition at all.
Yeah.
There's no like being on a course, dropping a ball. Like we're playing matches. It was cold and windy as shit down in
Yeah, it was cold,
Stream
man. The
Song as
first few
well.
days.
Really
Yeah.
cold. So like there was so many parts of the game that was pretty strong, and especially again just as it always kind of generally tends to be, the iron game was the best part, and wedges were pretty good. I the one thing I just feel like I can't point and shoot with the driver at all. It
Yeah.
just like I'm just kind of aiming it out there, hoping that the miss isn't a real shocker, like a
Yeah.
real bad one. and it kind of will peel or it'll overdraw or something, and it's just. I think if I was to do a proximity to the center line of the fairway,
Yeah.
I think that might be quite a revealing stat of like how few times I ever give myself like a real nice kind of look at a second shot, and which is kind of amazing considering how decent my iron game has been.
Yeah.
So I'd say there's that. I think I'd mentioned to you before, like, you know, in terms of when I get outside versus inside, like for some reason I lose so much distance outside when I get on the course.
Okay.
There lose an absolute ton. I think I spin the irons a lot more outside. It feels like to me, or even just visually,
Yeah. Yeah.
feels
Yeah.
like I spin it. So like if I'm hitting a 7 iron reasonably comfortably 180 in here, like it might be closer to 167, 168 outside. Like it's a club of loss.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's just a little bit of a lack of trust to swing as freely and have the same amount of speed. I think it's probably a combination of that and obviously how much adding a little bit of spin. I think I had too much dynamic loft and these types of things.
Well, I think
Um,
too, yeah, I find in Florida, like, and we talked about it even when I came up and we hit balls in the sim, it was like, I mean, I've seen
yeah, of course.
spin rates that are like 1,000 lower than what I always see, you know?
Right,
And
right.
then it's like, then, I mean, that was what led me to, I mean, basically, it almost for right now, it has to be the left dash and it has to be the Chikaras, as that's the closest option because just they both help me not spin it too much. So
Yeah,
that
I
would be an
honestly never even
interesting
thought of
experiment,
that.
you
Yeah,
know?
I never even thought the sandy element of it. I mean, I did, but I forgot our conversation about that's what you had found as well. That is interesting.
Because it's
Very
glaring, man.
interesting.
It's like it's for me it was 1,000. It's 1,000 RPM difference when I do
Well,
it.
like, yeah, and I'm looking at certain shots and I'm just going, I hit that really freaking good, and I'm scratching my head as to why that's not got to where it needed, sort of to go.
Yeah.
Um, what would be the other sort of takeaway? Putting was pretty good actually. I putted well. My short game is rubbish. Short game
Okay.
is so bad.
I mean, it's a debatable one, but I know
Yeah,
any of the college guys that are up north, when they go
yeah,
to Florida, and even if they were like great, they had great short games before college, it's so hard to go from the mat to the turf.
oh,
Even I mean, I'm not saying that you can't. I just think it's a different animal, you know, like
well,
turf is
that's a good point. Yeah,
yeah,
because it 4 seasons, like my pitching was pretty good at 4 seasons, and that obviously that type of turf,
yeah.
more of a kind of obviously way less Bermuda. So yeah, it's a good point. Just my pitching off those bare lies is just um it needs a lot of work on those particular conditions. Um, the one shot I would say I got into trouble a few times was ball back in the stands trying to knock something down, and it just goes like right of right. It's heading out the side door.
So
Um,
that one, and this is from bowling too. It's like when when you 3D on course into the wind, it's basically, and for you, it's like it's gonna amplify the tendency of even like really like established pros into the wind. They're
yeah,
going that way. So then you're
yeah,
thinking, okay, ball's back. Your tendency is to go that way. Then you go a little more to lean on it, a little more shaft
totally.
lean. It's like that would be probably the sort of the equation for that to me would be my guess.
Yeah, no, that makes all the sense in the world. There's a few shots that kind of stick in my mind that, like, both. In fact, the two that really stick in my mind were second shots into par fives after good drives and having like 230 in. And I think one time I tried to kind of hit a rip draw 4 iron that just kind of was a bit fiery and chasing down on blue. And then the other time was at Four Seasons. I had about that and try to hit 5 wood and try to kind of flight a 5 wood in there. And like, yeah, I just actually I probably will. We filmed the round at Four Seasons, so I want to pull that swing and I'll send that one to you just because that sticks in my mind as those are in different circumstances. Those are lost balls. They're going that far right.
Yeah, that's the one that you're like, if anything, that's the one that would get you in trouble, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. It's like it's actually thinking about that shot in particular. I think even just like I've got to pull 5 wood out my bag because I can't lean on a 5 wood. So it's easier with a driving iron. Whereas I can flight it higher quite comfortably. I have a hard time flighting it lower.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And then swings from yesterday. I mean, geez, like.
Well, that's the interesting thing. So, like, I came in knowing that obviously we're going to do some work today. I haven't really made any swings since last Monday at Four Seasons. I literally haven't made any swings, and I just wanted to kind of see where I was at. Like, obviously, a little bit of golf and just kind of hit a little reset, and swing felt really pretty good. Really pretty good.
That voiceover that I sent you, did that all make sense?
Yeah.
Keys?
It actually really helped. So I think Four Seasons pretty well.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah. So front nine, I was talking to you just after the long par three, around like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So I think the first time, you'd mentioned like, okay, ball position back a little bit. No, yeah. So actually, I'd played the next one. I'd played the par 4, and then I went on to the par 5 with the water left. So that's where I got your voice note about ball position back. And actually, for the first time, like hit one on an intended target start line. And I missed it out the bottom, but I'm like, okay, I can totally deal with mishitting it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that is exactly where I'm trying to hit it. So I'm like, that's good. And that's where the round kind of, I think I shot 1 over. I think at that point I was maybe 2 or 3 over through 7. And I was a couple under from there on in, just because I knew where it was going to go off the tee after that.
Yeah.
I hit a couple of good ones, really good ones actually on the back nine, that were solid. The most disappointing thing of my trip was I hit 2 solid drives in 4 rounds, literally 2.
Okay.
So
do you see the blues?
What was that?
I think it's a new thing Char was telling me about, like if you do like a certain hand shape and like
That's so good. I was like, what the hell is that? That's amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah. So I just driver was from a solidness of contact. That would be the most disappointing thing of the trip. But I know it's just how upward that angle of attack is getting. It's just where that is. So ball position, definitely helped that day.
Yeah, that's what, like when I looked at the swing, I thought, I mean, the pieces were okay. If he's going to try to hit it solid from where it was, I thought you were going to have to do that, which is going to get it in a spot where you're going to have to do that more. Where if you just put it back, and even if your tilts are like a little up, at least you're going to have enough where you can keep like swinging into it versus like if it's up there and you keep swimming, you could hit a left one, or then you do a stand-up hold and then you could hit a right one. I want you just feeling like it was like, if anything, it's back and you let it go, but it starts right and it comes back because you got enough attack and the face is a bit more open,
Exactly.
That's what I sort of was picturing when I sent that.
Yeah. No, that helped a bunch, and that's actually really good for me to kind of go back to that, I think. And if I'm having a bit of a tough time with the driver, and just kind of stick it back in the stance a little bit and flight it low, because I wasn't really, I wasn't giving up that much distance really.
And what was the loft? What were you playing loft wise there?
On the driver right now, I'm playing 8, but quite interestingly, the flight came way down. When it was, so I'm losing, I guess I'm losing a lot of that tilt. Like, I think I've said a few times, like, I don't want to be playing such low loft. Like I
Yeah,
want to progress to higher lofts and take it off with better delivery
yeah,
sort of conditions. So yeah, that's a crutch I definitely want to get away from.
yeah. No, I think. I mean, I looked at that swing yesterday. What was that attack angle with that? Was that a 3-wood or 5-wood?
That was 5-wood at about zero, about level.
Okay. Um, a conscious focus is in the swing. Where are you at with that?
I think so that was what I've kind of found is it's really helping the shape was our kind of like flick the paint, water bottle behind us. I
Yeah,
think the minute we kind of get it there and we sort of, pitch the shaft back a little bit, the difference of the shape of the swing is so much better.
yeah.
And that's
So
where
it's crazy because you watch it, and you watch like the forces into the club, and it's like it just looks so neutral, doesn't it?
yeah, it really does. It really does.
And I know you're probably feeling like it's like this way, but it's
Oh,
so neutral.
yeah. And that's where this little guy's actually been quite good, this little one club,
Yeah,
because it's so small. Like, I was making so many swings when I was away, just just feeling like as much of that as I can,
yeah,
which is a great feeling. And as I said, rather than feeling like the hands get deeper,
yes.
just feeling like, we're sort of there. And then we can sort of pivot and let the right shoulder chase it on the way through. Um, it just feels way better.
It looks that. Like you said yesterday, I'm like, let's go. When's the next round? Like I was just
Yeah,
like, that's as good as neutral for you, like in the sense of like it just looks like simple. It's like, oh my goodness, he's gonna hit what he wants.
and it really does feel like I'm going to hit some. Yeah, I'm going to hit it very, very straight. When I had that feeling, like I hit some 3 woods even after that one, and it just it does feel like I don't have that kind of like hang back flip in me when I make that swing, which
Yeah.
is definitely what I want.
And takeaway's looking cleaner. Like same with the iron, like the iron and the 3 would look very clean.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still it's still some maintenance and
Yeah.
lots of left arm drills
Because the left
and
arm definitely it would do it every time the right way, right? Or like you feel the difference if you get off track, right?
totally, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
good.
and I knew, the minute to be honest, the minute I kind of got on the golf course, I could feel it kind of sucking in early
Yeah,
a little
yes.
bit.
The
And I'm
first
like,
swing you said,
"Ugh."
that's what I saw. Like it looked like the right wrist went boom, like and it
Yeah,
was over there. Yeah.
yeah, could feel it, could totally, totally feel it. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think one thing thought to myself, like, I need to probably be tougher on myself on the swings I send you as well, because I think sometimes the swings I send you are
The
the
highlights.
the 34th swing
Yeah.
of having done something,
Yeah.
time and time again. I think if I have a practice session, like set this up to go play a few holes
Yeah.
and just record a few holes and let's look at what it is when I'm actually thinking about trying to hit a shot.
Because
I think that
yeah,
might be good.
no, I like that because what I think happens is it's not like the pattern changes. To me, it's what part of the pattern is showing itself the most. So it's like, so we sort of know, okay, the takeaway, the tendency, the tilts, the tendency, the
Hmm.
first move, the tendency. So then
Yeah.
it's like, then you start, okay, like no warm up. I'm pretending I'm hitting a tee shot. Oh, the takeaway looked good, but it was a little tilty and there was a little on top. And then it's like, okay, so those are my main things. Like the main thing can slowly change, but like the pattern's the same, but the main thing can slowly change, right?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So no, it's good. Let's see some. It's good though. That helps me because it helps me get some context on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a great time to kind of like get that little checkpoint on the golf course.
Yeah.
So probably my biggest takeaway from the show, I was telling Tracy when I came back, and she kind of I think she knew this for a while. I'm like,
And the other thing too that it's just the difference between the sim and the course. That's
Yeah.
why I said it's then you have to decide like what's the piece that needs the most when you play, like the most commitment or the most attention or the most exaggeration, because I look at this and I'm like, I mean, we just need to do this for 10 years and it's going to be crazy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally, and that's why I kind of like I'm thinking about like I kind of really need to probably come down and see you soon, pretty
Yeah.
soon. Just again, just sort of decouple inside and outside a little bit. It was good that I got a chance to play, but I think us kind of getting some time together outside will really also help with that because
Oh, heck yeah. Like I got,
you know,
got a pro and a college kid this afternoon. We're going to do 5 minutes on the range and then one's an hour on the course. The other is 3 hours on the course because it's like, I just want to see the patterns and like what comes out and all that stuff,
yeah, definitely, and that's something like I would love to, and I think I probably will try to spin a way in which I can make it happen, but that's where I think I would love to bring like Cody, our camera guy, down, and I'm like, okay, Cody, we're going to see Tyler for a couple of days. Let's kind of let's film on the course, let's film in the range, let's film kind of basically the 2 days.
Like, yeah, just what I do. Yeah. Shar keeps saying, she's like, people don't even really know what you do. Like they know you teach golf, but they don't really get to see what it actually like, what's the day like.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is ridiculous. Can I see a face on?
Yeah.
Little. So we got setup is primo. Okay. Any thoughts on setup? Is it still the same stuff?
I just always, like try to get close, try to feel comfortable and close, tuck the pelvis under,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Because it looks so good. And then look at that.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's
Right wrist is in check. I look at this. I mean, great. Maybe right arm width could be more, but it's still fine.
yeah,
I look at this. Okay. Club's trailing, right arm's extending. I look at that pre-impact. Perfect. Club's swinging. Like I'm like, dude, I mean, that's pretty real deal.
pretty clean.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Is that a good spot there, Time? Not
Yeah.
too
Perfect,
far.
man.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's what I think. It's like, we get this stuff I've done, a lot, right? The thing that I
Yeah.
think is the most interesting is like piecing it together from a scoring standpoint. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what like, like you were saying, okay, what's the spin? Is it changing? Like what shot's costing you the most? Is it coming up short right or long left? Do we need to like play more of a 3/4 shot more often when you play? Is it a low T
Yeah.
driver? Is it a high T? Like that's the stuff that I think layers together like, okay, good movement. And then how well can you play? Right.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, that I still don't really feel that comfortable on the course to the point where I'm kind of just freewheeling it and just playing and thinking and being sort of creative. It's still yeah. I think I'm trying to manage the variables that's different from the bay. Like I could
Yeah.
play that way indoors and kind of play that way with comfort, but just because there's new variables that occur when I'm outside, I have a harder time. I'm almost trying to sort of adjust to
Yeah.
outside ball
Yeah.
flight.
Oh my goodness, man. But and another thing too is like I think Ian, you're behind that, your width's good, right hip's good. I mean, there's so much good going on. The thing that I would say too, and this is from Graham Walker, is he has I forget which tour player it was, but they winter somewhere in the UK and he just had a sim in the house and he was doing all of his, yardages and everything like all winter. So then we do this approach play testing, right? So it's shots from say 60 to 150, okay?
Right.
And you get a score based on your proximity. So he did the test, like it's a 9-hole test. And I think before the winter, he got like 5 under on the test, which would be like, that's really good, right? And then he stayed in the sim all winter, did his yardages, worked on his swing, like got everything really good. And Graham tested him right after that. And he got 4 over after being inside all winter, working on his game.
Wow.
He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, I put in like 5 months of work, or whatever, 3 months of work trying to get this better and my moves better and it looks better and I'm not hitting it closer. And Graham's like, it's just golf, man. It's just like being outside in the elements. Then you have to, it's those fine tuning things. But I do think when you come down, like that's going to be the fun part,
Yeah, definitely. There's less to do on the major stuff. If we've broken the back of the major work that needed to be done, that's a great spot to be in. And that's why I wanted to just quickly check yesterday. I'm like, have I relapsed with some stuff? Have I forgot some stuff? Or, am I still in a really nice, tidy spot? And that's why I sent you. I'm like, I think that's still pretty good.
Well, that's to me the fun part is when it's like, that's the hardest part to me. That I think that's the difference between like teaching and coaching and, like that tightrope is like, we get to a point where it's like, well, we're not adding more information. More information doesn't make you better. It's being better at what you're doing, and being more clear in your mind of what you're doing. And then it's like, then it's scoring, right? It's not technique. It's like, okay, we're doing enough to move the needle from okay, we're going to be able to control the ball. Then it's like, okay, where's the next level, Whoa. Just incredible. Dude, you're going to I mean, I might send this and you're going to have to like get one of those frames that just replays the picture. The swing.
Let's see that. That felt
this.
way better.
I haven't seen you look like this one. If I could get this. I got a new phone and it's like the brightness is out of control. Okay. So watch this. So we got, let's see if I can get the lighting right. There we go. So we got here. Okay. So obviously right wrist is way more in check, right? It's not like it's not extended, but it's not overly extended, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes up, makes the face look slightly less shut. Look at this.
Yeah, that nice little change of pitches.
Well, look at your forward bend, man.
Yeah.
It's because like those pieces, the face being slightly more neutral, club more behind, of course I'm going to stand forward bend when I hit that.
Yeah.
Right? So so think about the other way, just so your brain knows what we're not doing is face, right wrist extended. So the face is shut, right arm getting a little bit more internal, it getting a bit on top. And then from there, if you stayed in it, you would just hit a hard pull, So you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it, right?
Yeah. Totally. It was actually quite cool to hit those two back to back because they felt so different.
Yes. I mean, that's so ridiculously pure, that move right there. Yeah. I was close. So that's an incredible swing, but you were slightly ahead of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I wouldn't change anything based on that because I would just keep feeling like the same keys, I think when you come down, you're gonna have to bring a couple different setups for iron so we can play around with turf and stuff like that.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I'm going to build some stuff for sure.
Watch that right arm a little bit. Yeah. So that one was just a touch on top, but still like incredible move, you know?
So the structure's better, just got to get a little bit more behind it on the
Yeah.
backswing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we can play around with how much of that transition feel you want to feel, you know, like we can do a couple where you feel a lot, we can do a couple where you feel a little, and we'll see, you know, how the ball reacts. But the backswing is still like a huge part of it, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Takeaways pretty nice there, bud. Here, check this.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, that's I like that right arm and right wrist there.
Yeah, it just looks like it's
And,
doing less, you know? And I
and
like
that's
the
the crazy thing with it. It's just do less.
yeah, it's just doing less, and then that gets you to there.
Yeah, and just from that position, like so many good things can happen.
It just to me, just the odds are like, okay, like the turn and the, you know, how you look, extension wise, arm position, wrist position. Oh, bud,
But
like
just like yeah, just knowing like how far we've gotten the backswing, like you know, in 3 4 months, once sort of the season opens up, I think it's just I get excited about what the sort of downswing, like the structure, how like just tightening up those little pieces and parts, and
yeah.
yeah, hopefully just it all starts to tighten in a little bit, but
Yeah, like I
it's
still think we're, you know, like there's still, you know, obviously there's progressions to it, but the good thing is like, you know, if I do this and this is what it does. And it's like, oh, that's if it looks like that,
totally
we'll be cooking, you know?
okay. So let's kind of get. I think 7 iron is definitely in the sweet spot of the swing. So I think why don't we get out of that and then sort of see if some other things tend to pop up if we go to like 4.
Okay, let's do it. I got a college kid at like 9:30, but I mean
Sure.
we're going Park City tomorrow for like a week to ski.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I'm like
That'd
thrilled
be
about
cool.
it. But I obviously this week just keep sending me ones whenever, man, you know?
I will. I
Okay.
will. Definitely.
Right arm a little, that's sticking out to me, Ian, as something that maybe we got to pay
Yeah.
attention to, you know?
Yeah, because that's going to make it hard to get behind it as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. Fascinating. I mean, in a good way. Like, is it what's that path there, bud? Or is it, you got no
Two
stickers?
point.
Oh, you got some?
Yeah, 2.3 to the right.
So it's a funny one, right? Because I watch it and I feel like you're tipping that one over, right? So then,
Ah,
so like I watched the takeaway. Let's see this. So this is like setup is nice, right? You see the shoulders and elbows and everything looking good. That's just a touch behind, a touch,
yeah,
right? So if it goes from behind, this one looks like it just gets a little on top there. You see it?
yeah.
And then you have to almost stand up a little bit because when I looked at it, I'm like, it almost looks like it's going that way, but the path's still into out, you know? So then I know
Right.
it was probably usually like it was a little behind and then going a little this way versus the other ones looked like almost like the other sort of circle, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Let me kind of give a little bit more feel into that sort of pouring the water out.
Okay. Yeah, give me a little more too in that takeaway. Show me the left hand only one. I just want to see where the. Yeah, a little more reach if you could. Let that left shoulder come around your chest a little more. That one. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
That's important to me, you know. So we got, yeah, left arm getting around. There you go. Now put the right hand on. There you go. Bingo. You feel what that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what we got to do, man. Because it's here, just check this because I think this is a good visual for you. Like when you reach that left arm around, and then look how, see when you put your right arm, how much spacing it looks like. I still think that's super important for you because that's the opposite of when it pins, you know, when you let it go like this, that's the opposite of that.
Okay.
Right? And then that gets you that sort of halfway. I didn't get the rest of it, but that's
okay.
That was perfect.
Yeah, no, that's better looking for sure.
Yeah, you know, it was one of those ones, and this is sort of part of it too, right? Things are looking so much closer that it's like, you know, it's just we have to just keep like the movements within what we've been doing, but we just have to be a little bit more aware of like, okay, how is it where we want it or is it close to where we want it? There you go.
Yeah.
Bingo, man. Very good. Can I see one from the front? I just want to make sure on one thing because that had all the pieces to me. Right arm, good. Takeaway, good. Downswing. I'll show you just so your brain can like process it a little bit. Right, so fine, not overdone, just good.
Mm-hmm.
Still good. Like maybe hand depth is slightly back, but it's not bad. First move down, clubs falling, which is nice. Right, like that's just a timing thing. Like I don't think it's a position thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Laser.
Little push draw, but interesting on the numbers. So 5.6 right and 0.8 up.
Okay.
So obviously quite a bit of tilt to that one.
Well, it's funny. So when I look at here, check this setup. So see that shaft position?
It's a little hard to see it. Yeah, no, I can see it now. Yeah, back.
Yeah, so I would, and then see how where your pressure looks there?
Yeah, a little kind of back leg.
Yeah, it sort of looks like you're hitting like a 3-wood to me. So let's just get set in there. Give me maybe a little bit more shaft and a little bit more pressure on the lead foot.
Like I think the setup when I see that, you know, if I was to pick a player now, like I just love their setup. Like I think Fleetwood looks so good at setup. Like handle forward, like just lines are just.
Yes.
Just
yeah, I'm totally
like he's just going to absolutely
that
flush
visual. It. Yeah, it looks like he's going to compress it the right way.
And like I was watching, I was watching some stuff the other day, and he was going through his numbers, and like his numbers, it's certain to my indoor numbers, like they're not that different. Like he's like kind of 290-ish in the fly, with the driver. Like he's very, very similar in terms of sort of speed.
Yeah. Yeah, really give me some lean there, feel. Yeah, there you go. A shaft, yeah. And then take out a little tilt if you can with your shoulders. There you go. A little more pressure left, believe it or not. There. That's not too much. Yeah, bingo. So it's going to make you have
No,
to split. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say like the quad actually. I found like the quad doesn't do a great job of showing how far those go to the right sometimes.
Yeah.
I would say that was the exact one we spoke about right at the start.
Okay.
Where kind of like I have that kind of like I'm on top of it. Everything, is kind of there to kind of really like flight it down, compress it, and then it just the face just stays open.
Yeah, so like when I look here, check this, I'm gonna give you, so there's the setup. So let's just check that box as like a good, right? There's that.
Yeah.
Right? That just looks neutral, right? For a 4. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you're coming in to me, like if I sort of freeze it, I'm gonna freeze it right just before impact here, or like halfway down if I can get the frame I want. Right there. Okay. So when I look there, okay. So to me, what it looks like is the upper body sort of there. And then when you're coming in, it sort of goes like that. So then it's ended up going that way versus what I want you to feel is like that paint here.
Yeah.
And more
Yeah.
like let that thing go by you versus like that one looked a little that way, right? So it's
For sure.
it's just matching up that with starting to like let that thing want to go this way a little bit more when you're coming through. Because I look at that, it just looks like you're a little bit ahead of it, and then you're having to put the brakes on with what the club's doing.
For sure, for sure. Dude, I know you got to go and see your lad. I'll film a bunch and I'll send them to you.
Yeah. Stick with the 4-iron though. That'll be a good tester for us.
Yeah, exactly. I'll hit a bunch more with this guy.
Sweet, man. Yeah, keep me posted.
All right,
I'll
brother.
talk to you soon, dude.
Thanks, pal.
All right, see you, man.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye.